Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. Got another great episode lined up for you today. This is your boy, Dan Hafner, coming at you. Today's topic is this: the successful are committed. Thank you for joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's Run Your Day episode.
Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, where our goal is to expand your focus and perspective on life. This is your daily dose of motivation, mindfulness, and so much more. And now, here to help you take your day back, your host, Dan Hafner.
All right, everybody, welcome in again to another episode here. Pretty excited about this one. The successful are committed. Fits nicely, obviously, into this theme of commitment for the week. I wanted to start this show off with a great quote I came upon today, just kind of doing some research for this show. And the quote is, "Commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in has left you." I think that is such an awesome quote because, a lot of us will make commitments in a state of being fired up, of being passionate, and being on an emotional high, or even in an emotional low. When we can't pay the bills, or we're down on our luck, or we're down on a physical. We're overweight. We'll make those commitments or those promises to ourselves that we're going to change, we're going to be better, we're going to be different. But when that mood is no longer around, when that motivation is gone, are you still doing what you said you were going to do? Because if you're not committed. So I just wanted to start with that quote. I think it's awesome. And I think it's something that we can all apply to our lives. So what I wanted to talk about today was successful people and how successful people are always committed. Success is a habit. It's not something that just happens. I think in our society, we're kind of conditioned to this idea that there are successful people and unsuccessful people. And the successful people just have it because they've either always had it, they were bestowed success from the get-go, or it just happened to them. They just got lucky. And I know a lot of people have always said, the harder I work, the luckier I am, right? Opportunity is when preparation meets luck. There are so many different stories you can find, just Googling anything of, these companies. You see it on the news all the time of, this is an overnight success. No, there's no such thing. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as an overnight success at all, ever. I don't care who it is, what they did, what went on with it, or what the circumstances were. What you see is the product of years or months or years or decades worth of labor that went into this. And now the fruit is finally coming to this person or to this company. You don't see the hours of work that went into someone perfecting their craft. You don't see the hours and months in the absolute dedication and commitment that goes into an athlete's regimen to make him or her an absolute weapon on the field. Like, you don't see the hours and hours and hours of training that Olympic athletes put in to make it just look easy and second nature. You don't see that. What you see is the gold medal performance. What you see is the playoff performance. And we think, oh, these people are just gifted. No, they might be gifted, but they didn't get there by slacking off. They got there by working their asses off for what they have. It's that simple. Name someone successful that isn't committed, that wasn't committed to what they were doing. Whether it was in business, Steve Jobs, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, anyone in that realm. Those are some seriously committed people. In the sports world, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, like anyone, Roger Federer, anyone that is successful is committed at a level that is hard to beat, is hard to match, because those people know that, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. If you are willing to put in the work and do more than is required of you and go the extra mile and commit to something, it will pay off. Like there's no other formula that is proven to be successful over and over again than hard work. And that's why a lot of people don't reach the level in life that they're potentially could reach, because they're not willing to sacrifice. They're not willing to put the work in that is required in order to get to a certain level. It's just that simple. It is hard to find someone that is ruthlessly, and I mean ruthlessly, committed to what they are doing. Because if you are not committed, it's easy to give up. If you're not committed, it's easy when the first roadblock comes to be like, well, this isn't my cup of tea. Maybe I should stop. I hit an objection. I hit a wall. Okay. Well, the person next to you might not feel that way. They might be like, well, I'll push through that. This is my opportunity to win. This is my opportunity to shine. There's no such thing as a shortcut or a secret. Everyone's always like, what's the number one thing to success? Or what's the step-by-step formula that I can follow in order to achieve the success that you have? Man, no one knows. There's not a secret formula out there. I used to believe this. Like I used to be the exact opposite of this, what I'm describing right now. Like I was someone that just expected things to happen to me. I expected to just be like, well, I'll go to college and I'll get a degree and I'll get a great job and I'll get promoted. And by the time I'm 30, I'll be running things and everything will be great. And then the real world slapped me in the face. And I was like, wow, like I was completely wrong about all of this, and over the last 6 to 8 months of my life, I've seriously turned that around to realize that like you need to be more than just talented. You need to be more than just dedicated. You need to be committed. And that is what I have learned over and over and over again through failing over and over and over again, is that just like we talked about yesterday, your commitment equals your investment. Well, your level of investment also leads to the level of commitment that you're going for. And I'm not going to get into that. I talked about that in the last episode. If you want to hear more about that, reference the your commitment equals your investment episode. But I used to think that there was this secret formula that these people just had figured out, or they were just lucky, or they played the politics game and they kissed someone's butt forever. And I realized like it was just because I wasn't willing to do what they were willing to do. I wasn't willing to put the work in. I wasn't willing to fully 100% commit to something. And that is why I never reached the level of my potential. It wasn't because of my family name. It wasn't because of, where I was born or what family I was born into or the area I was born into. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that internally, I was not willing to do the things that other people were willing to do. So I have learned that if I want to go places that no one else has gone before, I need to do things that I've never done before. And that comes down to being committed, being willing to sacrifice, and being willing to live up to what I said I was going to do long after the mood in which I was in when I said it dissipates. And I'm going back to that quote at the beginning. Like that is a great quote. I mean, I'll read it again for you guys. Commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. Like, that is just, I love that. I love that quote, because it really is like anyone can motivate anyone, like a pre-game football speech or sports speech, like anyone can get motivated. But in order to stay inspired and to stay like that mood of motivation is going to leave you. That commitment to success and doing whatever it takes to win is something that you can't just motivate someone to do all the time. It has to be within. So ask yourself today, do you really want to be successful at whatever you're trying to do? And are you fully 100% committed to it? And if you're not, how do you figure out how to stay in that frame of mind or mood you were in when you make a commitment? I suggest writing it down. I suggest journaling. If you hit that moment where you know that you want to change your commitment level, write down everything you can, externalize it. Get those feelings out on paper of what you are feeling exactly and why you are feeling this way. So when you go back, when things are hard, when you're not working out, when it's just you're failing over and over, you have that point of reference to be like, no, this is the mood I was in. This is what that situation was. And this is why I'm going to keep going. You have to have a why. You have to have a why. So that's my challenge for you today. That's going to wrap up the show again. Thank you all for joining. Really, really appreciate you as always. This is the Run Your Day podcast. This is your boy, Dan Hafner. Follow me on Facebook, or like us on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Always appreciate you guys listening in, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.